I haven't really went anywhere. I just wanted to paint some more, and I wanted to sit here and I'm going to try to paint, and I'm going to try to speed it up, but I may not be able to, so we'll see. So I'm going to add water here. Anytime I put water or paint next to another area that's still wet, it is going to bleed everywhere. That is okay if that's what I want. There are some times I don't want that. Lots of people don't want that. That's okay. That is watercolor, and it's what we have to learn to deal with. So, things to remember is you cannot paint with a black outline. You want to paint light to dark. Please paint light to dark. Do not paint with the black outline first. You do not need to paint with a black outline first. Nobody needs a black outline. You can always add a black outline later. Now, what if I want to add some blue? That blue is not my favorite blue. This is my favorite blue. Look at that blue. Whoa, it's so cool. It's my favorite blue. Notice how other blue was really ugly and this one's really vibrant. I wanted you to be here when I added my favorite blue. Now, it may run into the yellow. That's okay. When you are painting this and you walk away and you come back like 2 hours later and you see it dry and it looks like a completely different painting, that is the best feeling. It is so pretty. So this is that blue that is right next to the orange that nobody likes because they think it looks like black. Oh, by the way, we never use black in watercolor. Hardly ever. Like, it's like a cold day in October. No, cold day in autumn. Cold day in August. Cold day in August. I hardly ever use black. Okay, so I added my blue. Woo, I can add drippies. That really dark blue that's right next to the orange, it's actually called Prussian blue. It makes a beautiful sky. It doesn't always mix well with other colors, but it makes a beautiful sky. Now some of you got a beautiful pink. Now I've added some reds in here that I usually don't add. So I'm going to add a few, and I'm going to use them straight just because it's always fun. So what happens if I add red and I add it straight on here? Oh my gosh, look at that. Now, I want to add water immediately on here because otherwise I'm going to get a brush stroke, and we don't want brush strokes. Brush strokes are not our fans in watercolor. We want to sometimes make them go away. Now, if I want to make this red look more like an apple red or like a deep, rich red, I can add orange on top of it, and then I can come back over and add that kind of pinky red again. Watercolor is about blending. It's about thin and layers and coming back in. And some people like to splash it, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Look, I added a really thick part. So. There we go. You see, it bleeds out just a little because this paper isn't perfect. Gives you a chance to practice. So if it's not staying where you want it, that's okay. You can see it's not staying where I want it, so I'm okay. I'm not going to paint the A next to the P because I want the P to dry. If I start painting here, it's just going to start going everywhere. But I could paint next to the I. I could say, oh, I want my yellow to be right there. So maybe I want the yellow there. Well, when I started using the thicker color, and it started getting really opaque, but that's about as opaque as I get. I do not want everything opaque, okay? I cannot tell you enough. And I can even go over it with water. Oh, look, I can add my yellow in here. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I can pick it up and put it over here. And what happens when you add those extra colors, you get what's called depth. Now my red looks like it's multi-layered. It's really cool. I really like that. All right. One more thing. Let's go Let's go add some pinks in here. I'm going to try the other red. Now this is called Algerian Crimson. It's going to bleed a little bit with the blue. I'm going to add some other blues with it here in a second. It's okay, if it bleeds everywhere, just say that I'm painting. What's the worst that can happen? Are the paint police coming? Now I'm going to add some of the lighter blue. Now sometimes you do not have to mix it on a palette. I'm notorious for not mixing on a palette because it's just me. And I got a violet. Some people got a really pretty pink in theirs because I ran out of one of the colors, so I had to improvise. Now you'll watch, I'm just going to keep layering it and then moving it around. Now if worst comes to worst and you add some water, you can also pull a napkin up and dip it, and it'll pull the color up. Now you can also dip, drip, and let it leak out a little. And I always think that's kind of cool. It's like a splattery little fun thing. And then you can kind of lead it astray. Some people like it. Some people are like, oh, I have to have it perfect. And I'm like, I'm not a perfect person. So, all right. So I added you a couple little fun things to practice on. Hopefully come tomorrow you get a chance to do a little bit on it, at least have it drawn. And if you don't, that's what we're going to be working on. Okay? I will see you later. I hope you have a little bit of fun, and I will talk to you later.